Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John, and we are now in the world famous sipping den, where I do reviews on everything that has anything to do with alcohol and coffee. Quite a channel, isn't it? And I have cracked the code. I'm serious about this. To the playlist, to where I could put everything I review, every category, every single video, for here through eternity, and have it categorized and subcategorized in such a way that you can find easily everything I do in every category. It is one of the most greatest discoveries in the history of mankind, and I challenge you to go to my playlist and see what I'm talking about. And then I challenge you, or maybe I ask you nicely, to sub and or comment and or give a thumbs up. Why? Because it motivates. Well, first of all, it helps YouTube promote the channel, which then helps the channel grow, which then makes me highly motivated and truly dedicated. And that's important. Now, every comment I do, the first one's always pinned because it has a link to the playlist of what I'm doing. And in this case, it's going to be bourbon whiskey. McFarlane's Reserve, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. There it is. All right. Yeah. Handcrafted bourbon made in Kentucky. Alcohol content 45%, 90 proof, 750 milliliters. Whoa. There's a big thing on the back. Talks about the guy this is named after, Major James McFarlane. I won't bother you with that. Because what's important about this whiskey here, besides the taste and the smell and everything else, is the story, is who makes it. The guy who makes it is a guy named Kevin Curtis. Kevin Curtis started out at Brown-Forman. He started out Brown-Forman. The guy who hired him was the master distiller at Brown-Forman, and he was there for 40 years. And his name was Lincoln Henderson. And Lincoln Henderson, when he retired, started Angel's Envy. And what did he do when he did that but bring Kevin Curtis from Brown-Forman to Angel's Envy? When Lincoln passed away, Kevin went to Michter's, started distilling for them. And then finally he got enough backing and he got the name and the recognition and the funding. Investors to where he started his own distillery, IJW, in Danville, Kentucky. And he puts out a whole big line of whiskey. And this is one of them. One of the first ones he put out. It is wheated. See the color here, and then I'll show you the color in the glass. But that's the story. That's the brains. That's the resume behind the man who makes this. This is an inexpensive bourbon. It is aged 3 years now. He is now putting out stuff that's 4 years as the distillery grows. Stuff is getting older. He puts out this. He puts out a traditional rye bourbon, a cask strength of that, and a 4-grain and a rye. He also has a 12-year, which he must source because he hasn't been there 12 years, bourbon finished in Cabernet, which he does do that. He finishes himself. 12-year bourbon finished in Cabernet casks. So, he's getting ready to come out with a 13-year. I don't think he's been gone that long. But he's coming out with 13. So that I'm not sure with. He's still kind of new in the bourbon world. And so it's kind of a boutique sort of. Would he like to be everywhere? Of course he would. Will he be? I don't know. But for now, he's pumping it out. He's doing a good job. He's got a hell of a resume. Direct line to Lincoln. So like I said, it's 3 years. Now, it takes about 2 years for whiskey to start getting the nuances what the barrel's going to give it. 2 years. So he's 3 years in. Like I said, the stuff he's coming out with now, the 4-grain, the cask strength, 4 years. The price on this is crazy as we do this. It's like $21, $22. It's a hell of a value. Obviously, you see that I have been into it a little bit. Now, I know the smell, I know the profile, I'm going to talk to you about it. The big thing with this wheated bourbon, meaning it has corn, malted barley, and the middle grain is wheat. Most bourbons are corn, rye, and wheat, and very few are corn, malted barley, wheat, and rye. Okay, and he puts that one on. But this is the wheated, what they call a wheated bourbon. No rye, just the corn, the malted barley, and the wheat. It has a strong smell, to me, of butterscotch. I like it. For the price, this is one of my go-tos because it's just good. I like butterscotch. I think it's a great flavor. Now, I've heard other people describe this as toffee. The same ballpark, but a very strong butterscotch smell to this. A little grainy, but not real grainy. Young whiskeys a lot of times are grainy. Some older ones could be that. These are just general terms. This is not. This is butterscotch forward. That's it, period. Let's give it a taste. You know I like to do the acclimation sip, and I encourage all you to do it as well. This guy right here is just a strong butterscotch forward, toffee forward. I get really strong butterscotch. I like that. I like butterscotch. It comes through in this whiskey. And that is the main component of this. Now, there's the sweetness, but butterscotch is really how I describe this. It's buttery as well. Forget the butterscotch type thing. It's like butter. Butterscotch followed by some butter. It's not real oaky. It's not real tannic. It's not real complex. It's just what I would call, doesn't have a bite to it. It is an easy drinking whiskey. For the price, and I drink it straight because I pick out that butterscotch. I like it. Obviously, it would be a great mixer because it's 90 proof and it's not expensive. And it wouldn't kill you to throw it in something if you were making a cocktail or something like that. But it is soft, so I don't know. Usually in a cocktail, you might something high rye or something that punches through a little more. Although this is 90 proof, but the reason I say cocktail is because the price would lend itself. But the main thing is that you don't need to put this in a cocktail. This can be a mixer, but it doesn't. For me, it's not. For me, it's a whiskey without a big burn, without a lot going on, with a strong butterscotch, buttery toffee to it. And every once in a while, that's what I'm in the mood for. So, thank you for being here. Don't forget the sub. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. All right.